Hey guys, so I have gotten some requests for a little look into our homeschool preschool time, so that's the video that I'm bringing you guys today. Preschool in our house isn't super structured. It tends to come in little spurts throughout the day. I can usually get the boys to sit down for about 20 minutes at a time at the kitchen table for some real structured learning time, and I try to do that about 3 times a week. Of course, I try to incorporate learning into our daily play too, like I'll write out little words with pictures and tape them to our entertainment center in the living room, so when the boys just kind of like walk by them during the day, I can just randomly ask Calvin like, hey, spell stop or spell dog, and he can spell them out for me by looking at the words that are written for that day. And Eren is working on identifying his letters as well, so he can usually point out some of those letters, and the little pictures by them help the boys see what the actual word says, so they can see the picture of the dog and see the word dog and make the connection. We have a little basket full of magnetic letters and a little easel and different puzzles with like shapes and numbers and stuff for them to work on and play with in the living room. And at the kitchen table, we usually work on like workbooks, painting, coloring, other little fun activities. Our local school district does have a Parents as Teachers program, and that's what we are kind of running off of. So we do have a visit from our teacher once a month, and lately it's been just like a virtual visit, and she'll leave worksheets and other little activity ideas and stuff for us. So that's really like super helpful to be able to talk to her every month and get little ideas for hanging out and playing with the boys while learning stuff. I've been doing the homeschool thing through the Parents as Teachers program for a little over a year now, and I've really learned that Calvin is more cooperative about learning time if I ask him to help his brother. He seems to be like almost a little teacher. He really enjoys being the one who gives the instructions versus the student who's taking the instructions, so just learning little things about him and how he likes to learn best has been really exciting to figure out how best to get him to get excited about learning time, because when we just sit down and do like worksheets and stuff, he's really not that enthusiastic about it. But if I ask him to sit down and help brother make letters or identify shapes or whatever it is, he's much more excited about being the teacher. It just lets Calvin have a little different perspective and helps him actually get excited about learning time. When I'm working on something that's a little more advanced for Calvin and Eren's still not quite there yet, I do let Eren participate as much as he wants to without getting like mad or frustrated by it. And if he's not into the activity that me and Calvin are doing, I just let Eren do something super simple and fun, like, you know, chopping up a piece of paper using his cutting skills or coloring or whatever it is he wants to do. So I do let him participate if he wants to and if he's not frustrated by the activity, but sometimes he's just kind of like in his own little area doing his fun stuff. Now, of course, it's important to talk about everything that we're working on throughout the day. It's not just at sit-down learning time, it's randomly throughout the day. You know, I'm always asking Eren what color his truck is or what shape this thing is or whatever, and Eren's vocabulary has just taken off like crazy the last few months since he turned 2. It's been ridiculous how much he's talking now. It's just insane. He makes like big sentences. He talks about all kinds of things. It's like crazy. I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden the switch went off in his little mind, and he's just talking up a storm. We like to play I Spy when we're driving in the car. That's a really fun activity for the boys. I recently switched Eren to front facing so he can like see everything, and he's like so excited about seeing the world and everything around him. So we do I Spy with shapes and colors, and we talk about the different letters we see on signs and stuff like that. And like I said, for Calvin, it's really just been about recognizing how he learns best. He's never been a fan of writing out his name on paper for me with a pencil or a marker or whatever it is. He just doesn't really dig writing out his name freehand, you know, just from memory. But when we go outside and we play with sidewalk chalk, he is all about writing his name on the sidewalk. So just learning those little things that helps him get more excited about learning things and showing me what he knows about all the things that we've learned, just learning those little tidbits about him has been so awesome. It's just been, it makes everything so much easier when you figure out the tiny things that help make the kids get into learning. Now, some days it can totally be a challenge to get these guys to come sit at the table and do learning time. Other days, Eren will go to the kitchen and grab his little workbook and like throw it up on the table and like ask to start working on it. So it's just all about their moods and that particular day. Sometimes one of them's really excited to paint and the other one's like, I will not sit at the table no matter what. So that's why it's nice to have a variety of things, like little puzzles and things we can use in the living room where they don't have to actually sit down to learning time, or like other fun activities like playing with like baking soda and vinegar and food coloring. That's like one of their favorite things to get them to come into the kitchen to work on learning time. Overall, we just work on things little by little. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If it was somehow helpful for you, please give it a thumbs up and let me know. If you have any other like homeschool, preschool tips or tricks or things you like to do with your kiddos, let us know down in the comments below. I would love to hear your guys' opinions. And I'm sure everybody else who's watching this video would love to see everything you have written down below as well. So I hope you guys liked this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye!